go. Hello everyone and welcome back to For the Love of Gaming's online extravaganza number 3. My name is Atitree, and with me, as he was yesterday, is the extremely talented HammerHeadLabs. Today running another PlayStation classic, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. This will be a 100% run, so if you've played the game before, you'll get to see parts you might not have seen. If you haven't played it, you'll get to see everything that Spyro 2 has to offer. Let's do it, Hammerhead.
Alright, hello everyone. I am back. You thought you could get rid of me pretty easily, but no, you cannot. You have to deal with me for a couple more hours. But I'm going to be running Spyro 2 100%. Pretty much collecting everything in the game, all the gems, orbs, and talismans. Get everything. And it's a pretty unique run. I really love it. So, and this is like my favorite category to run. So, are you ready on time?
Absolutely.
Alright. Go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so basically this run starts off with almost like an any percent run, which is very interesting, very unique to this category of like all the Spyro games. So it's pretty much going to start off with I'm going to 100% this first level, and then I'm going to do a boss rush to pulling off like a whole bunch of skips and everything. And we're going to do that because of one bug that was present in the game called the double jump. And basically, to double jump, all you have to do is hit X and then square while not holding a direction, and you're able to just get extra height and pop out of bounds. So we're going to be doing that all over the place. It's like the main reason this category is what it is, and it's super interesting. And it's going to allow us to not have to like backtrack to any levels. Get everything early. We're gonna beat Ripto in like 20 minutes. We're gonna get the super fireball power up. Very interesting. So right now I'm just going around getting all these lizards and the gem lamps. These are gonna be the first 2 orbs of the game. Or actually, there's 3 here in Glimmer that I'll need to get. And basically doing it like the unintended way. Usually you have to like defeat a bunch of enemies and activate the flying power-up, but we're going to do these little like flame charge jumps
Thanks for helping.
to be able to angle our flame up and hit the lamps. And then usually to get the lizards, they want you to pick up these little rocks that the little gem cutter guys give you. But we're just going to get up to them early and flame them. The indoor lamps here. Usually, when you're playing casually, the game's going to want you to backtrack to this level, because to get the Superfly power from this area, you need to climb a ladder, which we don't have that ability yet. You'll be able to see the ladder coming up here on the right. It's right there. So, that's usually where we go. But we're able to just get all that stuff early, and once we complete the objective, we get warped up here to get the orb. Ooh, get that. Sometimes Sparks, the little dragonfly there, he's responsible for like collecting all the gems around, so you don't have to physically touch them. Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't, but we still love him anyway because he's basically our health meter as well. And if you get hit, he'll turn from yellow to blue, and then if you get hit again, he'll turn from blue to green, and if you get hit again, he'll turn from green to nothing. And then if you get hit again, you die. But when you have nothing, it is very annoying because you have to physically collect all the gems yourselves. Alright, and then come up here. This last lizard we do have to spit the rock at. And then we're just going to collect these while the rock is in the air, just to get the last few gems. We're going to go to the end of the level and get the talisman. This is the only level where we have to exit through the end portal in order to leave. Most levels I'll be able to leave just through the pause menu.
Spyro!
This is the only level where you can't. So,
This
right.
magic.
And there we go. That's Glimmer. So Spyro 2 is unique that you start in a in like an actual level. We're going to the homeworld right now. There's homeworlds are like super like aesthetically pleasing, very like calming music. No enemies and stuff, but there are like gems and orbs that you have to get. But we're just gonna completely like almost like just be in here for just a little bit. We're gonna clean up this area because we don't come back here specifically, but we'll be coming back to this homeworld, so we're not gonna get everything here yet.
I mean, if I can editorialize for a bit, you know, especially for gamers of a certain age, I would say everything about this game, it falls under the category of super aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
There's just something to the bright colors and the sharp art style. It takes me back to a time and place when I was, you know, sitting on my bedroom floor playing this game.
Yeah, definitely. I've been playing this game. This is like the first video game I remember playing when I was a kid. Because I was, what, like 3 years old when it came out? So, been playing it, you know, ever since I was a little kid. And it has been, like, my favorite game. If you ask me, like, at any point in my life, this would probably be my favorite game of all time. Alright, what we're going to do here is we're going to do Crush Skip. Crush is the first boss of the game, and pretty easy to skip into. Just got to get stuck in this door here, line up, and then... I say easy as I fail it. We're going to crush by the door, we're going to line up perpendicularly, and we're going to just double jump out of bounds, and then go to his loading screen. Usually to get into Crush, you need the 6 talismans. From all the homeworlds, or from all the levels in the first homeworld. To get a talisman, you just pretty much get to the end of the level. And that's required to open up the door to Crush. Crush is a pretty simple boss fight. He'll stand on these pads. The blue ones he jumps on, and he'll release like a little electric shock that you've got to jump over. Luckily, his shield actually goes down. Usually he does 2 jumps here. Before you get a chance to hit him, but his shield actually goes down before he's finished. And then the red one, we're going to do a little damage abuse here. Yeah, red ones just shoot fireball. A little harder to jump over. You can jump over them, but I just do damage abuse because I have to manipulate him over to that one, to that little pad over there, because it's going to turn blue. You want blue because blue is faster and you can hit him early without taking damage. And then on phase pretty much 4 through 7, he'll have to chase you. He'll chase you a little bit. Easy way to avoid it is to just double jump, get out of the way, and just avoid the rocks. And on the last one, once he swings, the rocks actually won't hurt you. So we're just going to stay here, get a little close-up of Crush, and we don't take damage in there. Alright, now we're going to be in Autumn Plains, and this is probably the biggest barrier to entry of this game, and it is Climb Skip and Gulp Skip. And this skip is no joke. It took me hours and hours to get it once when I first started running this game. And it's a big turnoff for a lot of new runners, but I think once you practice it a little bit, it does become easier and a bit more consistent. Basically, what there is that Gulp's loading zone is in the middle of the castle here, and this castle is like very, very well built, especially for a PS1 game. And there's a breakable wall that we can clip into, but we can only clip into it from the back side. So that's basically what we're doing, is we're getting around to the back side of the castle by just doing a little platforming here. We'll collect some gems on the way. We're actually going to do a little detour. If you've played this game, you may remember this glide here. Very peaceful, very aesthetically pleasing. We're just going to glide over here, and then we're going to death abuse after. Funny enough, sometimes you do get your VOD muted on Twitch because there's only the music playing, and something flagged your VOD for it, which I think is pretty funny.
Naturally,
yeah.
that's just the world we live in now, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah.
We got a question from the chat. Ring Banana asks, what got you into speedrunning Spyro? I think it probably has something to do with your long-time run of the game, but what or your love of the game. But what changed you from wanting to play it casually into speedrunning it? Was it just discovering the idea of speedrunning generally, and you just kind of figured that Spyro was the natural pick for that, or is there something else to it?
So I started getting interested in speedrunning back in like 2017, but never really did any runs. But Spyro was definitely, it's a game from my childhood that throughout like my time in college, I would every summer it would be like my project to actually go through and beat all 3 games to their full completion. And after a while, the Spyro games, they're not too difficult to play and to complete. So speedrunning, it kind of like was like a new challenge for me in the game, just to be able to do still like have some fun in these games while being able to improve and get better at the games and learning cool stuff in the game and be able to break some of these games wide open. But I first started running the Reignited trilogy when it came out, just because that hit him. Just because it was on PC, it was super accessible. For the leaderboards, you can run these games on emulator as well. But ideally, you want a PS2 and you need a capture system for it. So it is a lot easier to run Reignited, and I still do love that game. And met a lot of cool people through that. But I ran all 3 of the Reignited games. Ran and then moved over to OG just because they are vastly different experiences, and I love the games, in general. I also run the Crash games, and that's pretty much for like the same reason. Also, more for RNG there. Just because they're games I grew up with, games I love, just playing through casually growing up, and just a new challenge for me. But yeah.
Right on. Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. I'm sorry, you were about to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, this is Gulp. I hope we don't die here, because that's very unfortunate. This is Gulp. This is a big RNG check of the run. Pretty much these birds are gonna, or the pterodactyls are gonna drop different items, either bombs, rockets, or barrels. Ideally, you want rockets. Barrels are nice, but bombs you don't want, because you can't really double hit with bombs. So I'm just gonna see what drops, and then oh, that was my bad. Is that gonna? Oh, that did it. Okay. Alright, but yeah, that was Gulp. Very difficult boss, very RNG. A lot of people don't like Gulp. But
I think
but yeah, that's the second boss of the game down already, and we're 13 minutes in. So now we're in the last homeworld. This is Winter Tundra, and we're not going to go straight to Ripto. Ripto is the final boss of the game. We're going to get the Fireball power-up, which we're going to skip into a level called Dragon Shores, which is a level you don't unlock until you actually beat Ripto. But the interesting thing about this game is that all the level portals, if they're not active, so that's right there is the Dragon Shores portal, but you can see it's not turned on. So the way this game handles that is it spawns the level portal below, pretty much directly below where the frame is. So we just go right underneath it, and we're able to skip into Dragon Shores Dragon Shores, there's actually nothing in here that contributes to percentage. But there is a special power-up that you get for actually 100%ing the game. And that's the permanent fireball power-up.
Nice. And yeah, I love it. I love that people figured out that's how that works. That's actually a very common trick in a lot of games. One of the games that I run, the new TMNT Brawler, does something very similar in that it stores enemies that aren't ready to be loaded yet, basically like just off screen, and then pulls them in when they're needed.
Okay.
So I love it. They were able to figure out that, hey, here's where the quote-unquote unloaded asset is actually waiting, and technically it's active if you can get to it. And then they just figured out how to get there. Very cool.
Yeah. So now we're going to skip into Ripto. We're going to do a trick called Swim in Air. There we go. And
clean. Very nice.
Yeah. So we basically hit the water plane while still out of bounds, and we're able to just carry that swim out of bounds and just swim in air. And it's a pretty classic Spyro 2 and 3 trick that you'll see in speedruns. But yeah, here's Ripto, and you can see we have the permanent fireball. We're gonna keep this fireball for the entire game, and it allows us to pretty much just break the game, make so much stuff trivial. As you can see, this boss fight. Usually at this boss fight, you see hunters dropping like orbs and stuff. And you have to collect 3 of them, you get a power-up, and you deal damage. But with the fireball, we can just hit Ripto. This is like the only part of the fight where this is like what's supposed to look like. But yeah, so once we beat Ripto, if you saw earlier, we paid money backs for Swim. You're actually supposed to pay him a couple more times to get the climb power-up and the head back power-up. But once you beat Ripto and this final cutscene triggers, you actually get rid of money bags and you get all the power-ups. So that pretty much cuts out the need for getting all of the having to get gems and talk to him and unlock the power-up. So now we're gonna
nice.
Yeah. So now we're gonna pretty much play through the game entirely backwards. And unfortunately, this run does not end on a final boss, which I think is a little anticlimactic. But you got to see it in like the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So. I'll just remind people occasionally, hey, if you came in, the final boss is already done, so just jump back in the VOD to go see that, and then come back and join us.
But yeah, this is we're gonna go into Robotica Farms right now. As a kid, I hated this level because I don't like bugs. But you're gonna see pretty much what the fireball power-up lets me do in normal levels. Pretty much all these enemies, like, you have to kind of do something special to kill them. Nah, you just shoot them with the fireball and they, Alright, I'm gonna have to get a couple extra enemies. Oh, I shot one of those. I'll stick him here. But yeah, we're just going to like all these places like way out of order, differently than what you do in like a normal playthrough. Another thing you see me doing is something called flame charging. Usually with like stuff like baskets and bases and stuff that have gems in them, if you charge them, the gem homes into you. But if you flame them, the gem usually just pops out and falls to the floor. But if you flame and then quickly charge enough to go under like the spawn trigger, you actually could flame it and the gem will still home into you.
Nice. You get both at once.
Yeah. So it does help a little bit with like with lines and be able to get gems just a little bit more quickly, because a lot of like the time save and time loss in this game are very, very minuscule in terms of just like movement and stuff. But they do add up over the course of the run and over the 10,000 gems we're going to collect.
Speaking of collecting money that adds up, if you have a minute,
Yeah.
we have a $10 donation from Ring Banana, who says, "Oh snap, a donation! Appreciate all charity stuff, but having a Spyro run makes it even better."
Oh my god, thank you
I
so
would
much.
absolutely agree. Thank you, Snapple. Or thank you, Ring Banana. Thank you, Snapple. I'm doing the moon runes now. I saw him say in chat earlier, I'm just going to say Snapple in every sentence from now on. And apparently that's what I'm doing.
Alright, so if you saw me... Ooh, I didn't get that right. I need those. If you saw me, I was killing enemies, but the enemies in this game, in contrast to Spyro 1 and 3, they don't drop gems. They drop these things, we just call them soul. I don't know what the actual like technical term is for them. I don't know if I got that right. But basically what they do, so you don't need to kill all the enemies in the game to get 100%, but they do activate these little power-ups, the power-up gates. And usually when you see them, they have like a number, and that's how many enemies you need to kill. And this level is 15, so as I go through, I need to kill a certain amount of enemies to activate the power-up gate. Because there's some stuff that you can't do with Fireball. I did not get this 5. Like when I went through the barn right there, those doors actually don't open with Fireball. You have to use the supercharge. Alright, and we're just gonna clean up the rest of the gems here in Robotica. And we're out. Alright, now we're gonna skip into another level. This level is called Metropolis. This level, you usually need like a certain amount of orbs to collect, and because we skipped over pretty much every single level, we're vastly under-orbed to unlock it normally. But we're gonna do the same trick we did for Dragon Shores, in that the portal is stored underneath, and we're just gonna kind of go to the area we were before. Ooh, I don't want to go on that. To skip into Dragon Shores, but we're just gonna turn a different direction. I'm gonna go this way, and just skip right into Metropolis. Yeah, I forgot how many... You need like 20-something orbs, I think, to open it. But... there's another level that we go into in a few levels that actually have the same, like... That has like an orb requirement, but we have enough by the time we get there. But yeah, Metropolis is a very, very cool level. I'm like such a sucker for like futuristic style levels. And, got like some pretty cool mini games with like UFOs that you have to get, and it's a little hard to like manage the cycles because the UFOs are on a cycle that you'll see here in a minute. And then we're gonna go up here. There's a ox, I think it's an ox, that we have to. Usually he throws bombs at you and you have to flame them back at him, but we're just gonna flame him with the fireball and just easily beat this minigame.
Excellent.
Alright, then we're gonna come over here, we're just gonna pop out of bounds. And then come back in bounds. And I can see these UFOs that are flying around here. We're gonna just get that one on the way. And this part is kind of managing, collecting gems and hitting the UFOs as efficiently as possible, because like doing them at the same time is a lot quicker than doing all at once and then going back and doing everything else, since I'm coming back to these areas anyway. So I like to, you know, break a lot of the breakable things on the first go, and then finish up the UFOs, and then there's a second round of UFOs that you have to get. Where is this? I'm gonna come out over here. And I missed him. There we go. Alright. There's a second round of UFOs. These UFOs start on a constant cycle, so I'll be able to get the first 3 pretty quickly. Or first 4, at least if I
knew it.
play this part right. That. We're gonna come up here and get these gems. Yeah, one thing I didn't mention is that when you beat Ripto, actually Sparks his range increases, and he like constantly points at gems for you. So it makes it a lot easier in like the gem collecting aspect, because you can just pick them up from like way farther away, and you're able to trust him a little bit more, not completely. I think I'm missing some gems outside. Probably ones I can grab. As you can see, like I did run through that area because I grabbed the other 4 gems in that area, but he did leave one of them. So we're gonna go into the Speedway next. Speedways, if anyone's played this game, they're these little like you have unlimited flight, and you have these 32 objectives. They're in 4 groups of 8 that you have to fly through, flame through in a certain amount of time. And they're usually not too bad. This one's not bad, but when you're first starting out playing this game, it's a bit annoying if you don't know like the correct path or anything. But
yeah, when I first saw the infinite run, or you know the super speed runs from earlier, this is the kind of stuff I was thinking of. This and the similar stuff in Year of the Dragon. I definitely remember playing these for hours on end, just because being able to run forever was fun.
Yeah.
But then as a little kid, I was also trying to play these more as like exploration-based levels, and yeah, it doesn't quite work the same way.
But yeah, something about Spyro 2 is that each speedway has its own little mini-game section, or a hunter mini-game that you get an orb from. So, Hunter's usually hidden somewhere in the level. It's constant, so you don't have to like go find him every time. So we're gonna come over here, and he has this little mini-game where we shoot some balloons. It's pretty much like an auto-scroller section. My chat
Hey,
is like
Spyro, you found me. Sorry, you were saying.
My chat just like to spam pew 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 when I'm in this level, because that's all you hear, and it's a lot louder than the rest of the game. Yeah, funny enough, that's like the name on my splits.
Oh, of course, it has to be.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just these 25 targets. It's constant, so if you know where they are, it's pretty simple. I just sometimes, fat finger a direction is
Naturally.
yeah. And then there's going to be these 2 last blimps here.
Alrighty. If you turned your audio down for the last part, we're done now. You can turn it back up.
All right. The next level we're going into is Mystic Marsh. It definitely has the most interesting routing of all the levels because it has this trade fetch quest that you need to do. There we go. And that basically takes us to like all different corners of the level. We have to double back on like some areas. So the routing for it is very interesting, but I do love it. Also, earlier when I was talking about like Sparks taking hits and changing color, and in order to get his color back up to gold, which is max health, you have to defeat these little enemies. They're just called fodder, and they're just depending on what level you're in are different things, but they give you butterflies. And during the time Sparks is eating a butterfly, he won't pick up gems because he's too occupied with eating. So you definitely need to be a little mindful of that when you're running through these levels.
Spyro.
So yeah, this is the start of the fetch quest, so we activate it pretty much as early as we can, and he gives us this egg. He doesn't really tell us what to do with it, so we have to figure it out, but there are some little like hints you can see. There are like some obvious things in the level where you're like, that's interesting, that's probably used for something. And that's pretty much just for the fetch quest. So we're gonna use this fountain here. Usually you need to kill like 20 enemies. Yeah, 20 enemies to activate that spring power up and get up to the top. But we're just gonna use the fountain to get up here early and activate this minigame, which are Thief stole disguised spark plugs on his Jeep. And there's these thieves that you need to go around. And what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to hit 2 of them at once right here. Because they do have like a little animation that you need to skip. And I didn't get that one. Let me pick up the egg, because the egg can despawn. And they're going to do a little animation. It pretty much stops you, and the way to skip it is to pause the game and unpause, and that skips the entire animation of the spark plug coming and like touching you and you collecting it. But yeah, what I wanted to do there is hit both of them and then trigger the dialogue with the guy at the end, and that'll skip both cutscenes at once. But yeah, so the egg goes up in the nest up here, and the bird drops a seed. I don't want the seed yet. I'm gonna shoot that thief. I didn't shoot him. But I'll get him right here.
Alright, at what point during this do we get the Bigoron sword? You know, from, no wait, that's Ocarina of Time. Never mind. There were a good number of games around this period that had those fun fetch quests, but remind me what we get at the end of this one? If anything?
We get an orb at the end.
Or is it...
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
1 orb.
Yeah.
Goodness, for all this work, you'd think we'd at least get 2.
Yeah. But we put the seed in the pot, it grew the plant, and it gave us a duck. I still don't know whether this duck is real or not, but we just have him in our mouth. Either way, we're gonna deliver the duck to the mama duck down there, and if the duck is fake, then we pretty much tricked her into thinking we gave her a baby duck. But the duck spits out a radish, I think? I think that's a radish. And we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with that. But first we're gonna come over here, and the last thief is here. And we're gonna spit out the radish. We're gonna flame him, and we need to pick up that radish before the game takes away our movement, or else it'll warp us to the other side of the level and could potentially cause the radish to despawn, and we'd have to start the entire fetch quest all over again. Alright, so we're gonna go over here. We're gonna put the radish in this pot over here, hopefully make that. Nice. And it's gonna spit out a coin. Why a coin was in that pot, I don't know. But where do you put a coin? Well, if you want to make a wish, you put a coin in the fountain over here.
See, I was hoping it was one of those the little machines outside of like pizza places where you put in a quarter and you turn the crank and get something out. But wishing well is good too.
Yeah. But in the well, or in the fountain, was the professor's pencil. So you take it back to him, gives you the orb, and I was going to grab these last two gems here, and we're done with Mystic Marsh. Alright, and then next level we're going into is Cloud Temples. Cloud Temples is it's a pretty quick level. It's not too bad. There is one minigame with Agent Zero. He is very annoying because it's basically a stealth mission. So this is a level I alluded to earlier, to where we need a specific amount of orbs, but we had enough by this point because I don't know how many we actually have right now. But we have enough to activate the portal. So Cloud Temples. You have these guys that stole the wands. You defeat them, and they open up like the next area of the level. So this beginning section is just pretty much just gem collecting. All like the challenges and stuff are later on. Also, the camera sometimes gets stuck behind walls. You can go through the level without killing a lot of the wizard guys, but they do steal the camera and it's very annoying. So I end up just killing them anyway. And you may have seen that I was at no sparks there for a second, but I broke that little base, and it has a blue butterfly. And the blue butterflies, they give you an extra life, and they completely fill up your health. So very useful if you're in a pinch, if you know where they are. But yeah, this mini game, you have to ring the bells. Usually you.
I suppose.
You kill 21 enemies, he activates this ice power-up, and there's these little, I forgot what he calls them. These little fire guys, like goblins, or I think they're called. But you have to freeze them, jump on top of them, and like go into that area and charge the bell. But with the fireball, we're just able to hit the bell. It counts, luckily. Alright, and then we're going to collect all these gems, and then we're going to hit this guy with the fireball and get warped up here, and we're going to head to the end of the level. And we're going to end on the Agent Zero minigame. You have to kill that guy to get the end of level orb. In Winter Tundra, you don't get talisman for completing levels, you get orbs. And that's because, I didn't talk about this earlier. I kind of talked about it before Crush, but you need 6 talismans to face Crush, and you need 14 to defeat Gulp, but to fight Ripto, you need 40 orbs. So in the last homeworld, there's no talismans. You just get orbs for completing the level. So yeah, this is Agent Zero. This is a stealth minigame. I want to collect as much as I can without getting caught by him, and I can't fall too far behind, or else like those doors and stuff will close. Also, if you flame him, you get caught. Surprisingly, because you know he does notice that. Oh, but I missed that. So I'm not gonna take any risks here. I'm just gonna stay behind this tree and.
What?
And just fight, follow him to the secret hideout. And we're gonna clean up the rest of these gems. And we're done with Cloud Temples. And that is the last level of Winter Tundra. So this is the last you'll see of Winter Tundra. We're gonna head into Summer Forest, which is the first homeworld we went to. And we're gonna, finish up all the levels we have there.
Alrighty, well, welcome to Spyro 2, everyone. You're catching us just at the right time. We're in the first home world here. Incidentally, if you want to see the final boss fight, go back in the VOD about 25 minutes. And then come join us back here for the rest of the run. Alright, sorry. I'm done funning around. Back to you.
All right, so yeah, that's Winter Tundra. We're gonna go into Colossus now. Colossus is a little RNG based for the hockey minigame that I know a lot of people either love or they hate. When you're speedrunning it, well, actually, I'll explain a little more when we get there. But yeah, Colossus, it's one of the first levels that you actually go to in the game. So it's a little bit more of an introductory level. So it doesn't require like any like special. You don't need like the swim, climb, or head bash or anything to complete it. Did I get? Okay, I did. I just want to double check, make sure I got one of the gems up there. But yeah. They have these little these yaks and goats, kind of annoying enemies. All right, Spyro, let's get on this little pillar here. We're gonna come over here, like that, and then we're gonna try to get those baskets through the wall, which I got both of them with the flame charge. We're gonna hop up here, hopefully. There we go. And we're going to activate this minigame a bit early. This minigame has you flame. There's 10 little statues around the level that they turn yellow to green because they got possessed by that spirit. So we just need to go and flame them. We're just going to, just get them on the way as we go through the level. Alright, and now here's another boss fight of the game. Very difficult, so I need to pay attention here. Alright, and we got him.
I thought the...
Nice.
Alright, yeah, but now we're going to hockey. There are 2 rounds of hockey. There's one where you just face a goalie, and one with where you play one-on-one against a Yeti? I don't actually know what they are.
Yeah, they're all Yetis, as I recall, because you actually you play as a Yeti character in the 3rd game.
Yeah. But this is where I didn't go far enough. A little bit of RNG comes in. Basically, I want to pick up these pucks like right after he hits them, but he could hit them to the right or to the left. I just pretty much bank on him hitting it this way and picking it up early and just shooting it like that. But sometimes you can't hit it the other way, and you have to go and chase down the puck. And it takes around like 10 seconds or something to get the puck the other way. Yeah, get it that way. So I have to go chase it, and then hopefully he's nice here. Okay. Alright, I got 3 out of 5 fast shots, so I'm okay with that.
Well,
And now we're going to play a little one-on-one, a little more RNG, but this one's a little bit more manageable.
would you like to try?
So he's going to throw the puck to the left, and the Yeti's either going to go in front of me or behind me. And when the opposing goalie hits the puck, he's always going to hit it towards his teammate. Except for my goalie, because my goalie doesn't want to help me. So I just kind of want to get in between them as the opposing goalie hits the puck, and I'll be able to pick it up quickly and just shoot into the goal. Alright. Oh, I didn't get it there. Alright. Spyro, why didn't you pick up that puck? Alright. So yeah, this is where it gets a little annoying. Oh, please fall. Alright. Well, I need to start that over again.
Would you say that hasn't happened before?
It has happened before.
Okay, fair enough.
If the
You
puck,
just don't like to see it.
Yeah. If the puck falls completely out of bounds, he'll rethrow it, but if it just stays there on the edge, it'll just stick there. So I do want to avoid flaming him when he has the puck. Alright, just bounce off of him. But yeah, as you can see, this minigame can be a little annoying. Oh my god. There we go. Alright. And now my camera's stolen and I couldn't aim. Yeah. This has turned into a very bad hockey, in case you couldn't tell.
I mean, you say that, but I feel like between most of us who are watching, we don't have the experience with this game or with the sport of hockey to know better one way or the other.
There we go. All right. All right. All right, we should be good now. All right, there we go. Hey, first try.
Goal! Wait, that's soccer. Ah, well. Still a goal, so it counts.
But yeah, if you saw, I got something there called the skill point. It's not required in the 100% category because you don't get any percentage for it. But there are little extra challenges you can do for doing certain things in the game. Some little trivial things, like finding a secret area or something, or some where it's you beat the speedway in a certain amount of time. And there's little bonuses. They give you a full health butterfly and everything. In the remake, in Reignited, if you get all the skill points, you get concept art and stuff, which I think is pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was about to ask if there was some special benefit, and it sounds like they thought of that for the remake. Very cool.
Yeah, I think it's the same in Spyro 3. Alright, I need this yak to get out of the way. Alright, let's get out of Colossus. Not an amazing Colossus, but we're out of there. Alright, next one is Idle Springs. A little bit more RNG in this level with the fish minigame, which I'll be doing kind of towards the beginning. So there's this mini game to get the orb where you need to do, well, 3 different little challenges and stuff. One is a little puzzle, second is a fish mini game, and third is another puzzle. The first one, he has a little like square of 8 smaller squares. You need to jump on them, and you change the one that's like directly adjacent, and you need to match them all to where they all light up. When I was a kid, no idea how to do it. I just kind of jumped on them randomly until I learned through lots of research and experimentation that you can just jump on the 4 corners and you complete the puzzle. Jump there, there, and there. And that puzzle's done. Now this is where the RNG kind of comes in. There's a little fish mini game where you need to flame the fish into the idol. And you need to flame the blue and the yellow ones in, but not the red. If you flame in a red, he won't like it, and he'll throw up some of the other fish he had, so it'll set you back a little bit. But the fish here is purely random, and the space in between, and like the time in between fish jumping up is random as well. So I want as little red fish as possible. Ideally, keep it in the single digits, but I have gotten like upwards of like 20 red fish. So you can see them all coming right now. All right.
This is the Dr. Seuss mini game. One fish, red fish, or 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
Yes, but not the red fish. Not the red fish, please.
Right. Fair.
So yeah, so we just gotta wait here. I don't know how many redfish that was. If anyone was keeping count, please let me know, because oh my god! And sometimes, yeah, the fish can just like not go in.
Okay, Spyro.
All right, but we're done with that. We're out of there. That was not great, but I think I got somewhere around like 15 or something there. But for this one, this level, we do need the pretty much to progress. We need to defeat the enemies that are holding the little NPCs here. And for one of the orb challenges, we need 8 souls to activate for the super speed. So I'm just gonna get a few enemies on the way. It's only 8, which isn't really too hard to get in this level. We don't really need to go out of our way all that much, because we do need to defeat like 3 of them just to get through the level, and there's just some on the way. But we're gonna do the last part of the puzzle here, and it's gonna warp us back to that first section with the squares.
If you jump on...
And the secret to this puzzle is you pretty much match one of the properties of either the shape inside, the shape of the platform, or the color, and you just kind of go around in that order. And then what I'm going to do here is the treasure chest proxy, which I'm going to nudge squeeze myself in between the lid and the actual rest of the treasure chest, and it pretty much launches up and allows us to get up to this area early. If you don't know what a proxy is, proxies are if Spyro's hitbox and the hitbox of something else kind of occupy the same space. Game doesn't like that, so it'll try to just eject Spyro. And the way we do that is we usually like charge into something, and then if I tap X while still charging, he'll do like this little like stutter, and that changes his hitbox enough to where the game doesn't like that. And it's a lot of positioning and timing, but you definitely get used to it as you play the game more. But in 100% you don't do a ton of proxies. It's more common in like the shorter categories, which in this game there are like 4 main categories. There's any percent, which is kind of what I did at the beginning of the game, except you don't 100% Ripto, or you don't 100% Glimmer at the beginning. You just kind of get to the end of Glimmer, beat Crush, beat Bolt, beat Ripto, and the record for that is like 7 minutes and something, which is absolutely nuts. And then there's 14 Talisman, where you get where you pretty much any percent of the game, but you're not allowed to do Gulp Skip. And then you have 40 Orb, which is kind of like the intended any percent, where you get the 14 Talismans. You're not allowed to do any boss skips at all. You get the 14 Talismans, and you get the 40 Orbs to open Ripto's door and beat Ripto.
Hi, Spyro.
All right. So, in case you didn't know, this is Hunter. He's going to teach us how to jump and glide now, in case we didn't know how to do it already.
Nice.
So we have to go through this. He gives us an orb at the end, so that's why we gotta do it.
Very.
But I'm gonna try to make. If you see there's an orb there off to the right, I'm gonna try to make the jump from here.
Wow.
To that little platform over there. Gotta line it up. There we go. Just grab stuff in there. Have missed a gem in there before by going too quickly. But yeah, this actually loops us around to where the Glimmer portal is. But we're gonna use this wall right here to get a swim in air. There we go. So basically, I triggered the swim while going onto the platform, and it just allows us to get the swim in air here. And we're just gonna grab some gems, grab some orbs that are just hanging around. But yeah, that's a pretty swim in air. You just kind of go up to the edge and just mash square. So that's definitely something you can do if you want to try it at home. But yeah, it really allows you to kind of explore these levels, just kind of how you, kind of from like a bird's eye point of view if you want. So it's super fun.
To be clear, he means try that at home in the game, please.
In the game.
Don't try to swim in the air like out your window. Not recommended.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for any injuries. This is Ocean Speedway, as you saw. You need an orb requirement. It is quicker to just go underneath into the loading zone rather than talk to Alora and open the portal. So this is probably my least favorite speedway of them. It's still fun, but definitely not my favorite. I think the other ones are a lot more fun. Alright. We're gonna get the last of these cars. Yeah, and then the mini game for this one, you actually don't find Hunter for this one. You go over here to the queen fish, and you do follow Hunter through these rings, and there's 20 of them, so you just kind of follow him. There is like a path to do it a little bit quicker, but it's a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult to do. You kind of do it out of order, and you get ahead of Hunter. But right now, I don't really do. I'm just doing this for safety right now, because if you fail this minigame, you lose a minute. But this one's just memorizing the path. But yeah, if there are any like donations, this would be a good time for it.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to take this time to talk more about the charity that we're raising money for this event, To Write Love on Her Arms. It's a nonprofit movement and cooperative effort between themselves as an organization and a lot of other organizations that they help raise awareness and funds for. And the effort overall is dedicated to presenting hope to individuals and finding help for those struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. The movement exists and the organization exists to encourage, inform, inspire, and invest directly into treatment and recovery for individuals dealing with those issues. Today is actually National Suicide Awareness Day, September 10th. And all this month, Right Love in Her Arms is running a awareness campaign called You Are Not a Burden, which is specifically about disrupting the belief that struggling with mental health and reaching out to people to talk about that, to have those frank and difficult discussions about your struggles, about where you are in life, when you're in a place that is down and seems insurmountable. You know, basically to tell you that that does not make you a burden, to encourage people to have those discussions and to further talk about that and encourage having those discussions. The charity is actually helping to give rewards for donations above a certain amount and talking about what those donations mean to them as an organization. So every $50 that we raise for To Right Love in Her Arms helps someone sit with a counselor for the first time and begin to have those meaningful discussions. Every $100 supports 340 people through means like assist text and phone lines in their search for help and makes it possible for them to find free and reduced cost health services. And $250 provides a month of counseling through their treatment and recovery scholarship program. So if you want to see more about what they do, you can go to twloha.com. And if you want to see those gifts that they are offering to donors raising money for the love of gaming, you can go to our Tiltify using !donate in the chat or the link just below the Twitch window, or the video player. Alrighty, back over to you, Hammerhead.
All right, thank you. All right, but yeah, this is Hurricos. So in case anyone didn't know,
Thank you, Spot.
Tom Kenny, the fabulous voice of SpongeBob, voices Spyro in Spyro 2 and 3, and he also voices the little the Electrolls here, which are basically SpongeBob.
Was it Carlos Alazraqui in 1, or is he later? I know Elijah Wood did Spyro for a time.
Carlos was Spyro 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I might have remembered that after you just said 2 and 3. I'm like, oh right, there was somebody else in 1.
Yeah.
Carlos Alazraqui, for people of a certain age, did a lot of comic voices and was also the voice of the Taco Bell dog, if you remember that ad commercial.
Really?
For that ad campaign. Yep. That's some vintage 1990s commercials facts for you.
God, I remember those commercials. They're so good. Me and my family would quote them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Especially the one for the horrible Godzilla movie. I think we're going to need a bigger box.
All right. So yeah, this is, we're going to like the last area of Hurricos. This is probably the worst minigame in the game, which are these thieves that steal these lightning balls, and you don't just beat the minigame by putting all the lightning balls back on the pedestal. You have to defeat all the thieves. So you need to start putting them on. You need to wait for them to start spawning, and then hit them on like a certain cycle. Hopefully I can hit it there. There's usually four thieves on each side. But if you don't play it right, you can only spawn like 3 and miss some of them. that one didn't spawn because I didn't shoot that one. But it's fine. We're gonna go over to the other side first and get the 4 over there. You can see they're all already running around over there. But this one's just kind of a long back and forth type of game, or yeah, type of mini game. And you have the sirens that just you know, increase your stress. All right, well, only 3 spawned over here, so put these back. Here.
Yeah, you know, that's just good game design, right? You're working on a tight timeline. You're in this spooky looking area. They just got to make it sound stressing too.
Yeah. So I used to run Reignited a lot more, and I actually ran Spyro 2 100% Reignited at the first FTLG marathon, and it's this minigame has like a little cheese to it, to where it has the thing where like the enemies are, you know, loaded out of bounds, but you can get to them early and flame them all before like the minigame. So it makes this minigame really, really short and Reignited.
Nice.
Thank you, Spyro.
Alright, and we're done with Turcos. Alright, next up is Sunny Beach. Sunny Beach it's not too bad of a level. It's pretty straightforward. There is a pretty infamous mini game called Turtle Soup, which a lot of people don't like very much because it's pretty difficult, especially when you're playing it casually, because you have all these turtles that are going towards like you have a chef that's ordering these turtles to go into this pot of soup, but you don't want that to happen. You want to save the turtles.
Wait, can I say the line? Because that's technically from my speedrun happening on Sunday night.
Oh, go ahead.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
What game is that
But
from?
apparently we're not doing that today. Yeah, no, that's a classic line from like most of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. But I'll be running the new one from 2022, Shredder's Revenge, on Sunday evening. So if you want to come back then, I'd love to have you.
All right.
Anybody who wants to come hang out, it'll be a fun time. And thanks to the generosity of viewers of the For the Love of Gaming marathon, I will also be trying to cram as much pizza into my mouth as I can while playing. So hopefully I don't have to throw out my controller from it being greasy after I'm done. But we'll see. Should be a fun time.
Okay.
But meanwhile, like you said, we're trying not to make turtle soup today.
Yeah. We're saving the turtles today. Alright. But yeah, pretty much the orbs in this are from 2 versions of Turtle Soup, and then breaking 7 of these little turtle boxes. Usually, there's a super flame power-up that you have to get by defeating, you know, a certain amount of enemies. But because we have the permanent super flame, because we cheat, we can just get it all on the way through and not have to like backtrack them.
It's called routing, not cheating. Because you're playing the game smart, not harder.
Yes, true. Alright, we're gonna get the talisman here. I have missed this talisman before because I just ran into this room and like ran right out of it. But we're gonna be skipping this box for now. We're gonna do Turtle Soup first. We're gonna go around behind it. Because something interesting about this game is that when you're underwater,
Your turtle.
and you're up against a wall, the projectile doesn't actually spawn at your hitbox. It spawns a little bit in front of your hitbox. Alright. So if you're up close against the wall, it won't collide with the wall. It'll just spawn on the other side of the wall and keep going. So we're gonna use that in the next this level and the next level. But yeah, something interesting that you may not have known. Usually the first round, there are 3 turtles that spawn. But if you get the first 2 quickly enough, it just doesn't spawn the 3rd turtle. I don't know why that happens. But it does save the time of not having to hit the last turtle in. Yeah. The turtles aren't random, they do spawn in a certain order. I don't remember it all the time. But it's not too bad if you know like the angles to hit them at. Alright, so I'm gonna dive down here. There's 10 gems down here that I need to grab. And I'm gonna come up to this corner, just kind of aim down, and I'm gonna hit that box. And it's gonna warp me back here. And that's Sunny Beach. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that same trick again here in Aquaria Towers to pretty much completely sequence break this game. We're gonna get to the end of the level. We're gonna do like this level completely backwards. Because in Aquaria Towers, pretty much the story is that the enemies, they took all the water away from these seahorses, and you need to hit these buttons and it fills up the rooms again and with water. So you make the world wet again, which is what they say. But yeah, you can see they're just teasing them with water. But we hit these, and it fills up the area with water. And usually you'd have to go through the level, hit a bunch of those switches and fill up the rest of the level. But we're gonna aim through here. Set that up.
You know, I didn't plan it that way, but it's a great opportunity to remind people to stay hydrated. I actually just wrote it in chat a few seconds ago.
Oh yes, hydration.
And then we happened to be in the level about filling the world up with water.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, hydration, very important. Especially on these long runs. Definitely get up and stretch too, if you haven't.
If you're a chronic underhydrator like me, my body doesn't always tell me I'm thirsty until it's way too late.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the way the water works in this game is that there's pretty much just like the surface of the water that counts if you're that triggers if you're going to be swimming or not. So this area actually isn't full of water. We're actually going to go through the water plane right there, and there's actually another water plane right here. So it really only checks for swimming at the surfaces, and that allows us to do like the swim in air and everything. So once we pop out, we're like back on our feet. We're not swimming anymore. But I almost forgot that shark. Yeah, these sharks are dangerous. They will eat you and in one hit. So, and we're actually not going to fill up this area because I don't know what it is about the game in this area, but if you hit that button, it actually won't put you into a swimming state. So you'll be kind of like soft locked in that area. But yeah, we're back in the beginning of the level. We're back over here. Great. I'm gonna talk to him. This guy, he actually won't give you the talisman unless you hit that last button, which is different than in Reignited. Reignited, you can talk to him at any time and he'll give you the talisman. But if you're up there when it's dry, he just won't give it to you, and you'll have to exit and re-enter the level for him to go again. And now what I'm doing here is that there's a mini game to where the King Seahorse wants you to go up to the top of 6 towers to rescue his 6 children. But the seahorses are spawned in once you enter the level. So we're just gonna go. This is the last tower here. We're just gonna rescue the last seahorse, and he's gonna give us the orb. So the other 5 are unfortunately still trapped. break these. There we go.
You know, they say parents don't have favorite kids.
Yeah.
But, I guess some are just programmed differently.
Yeah. All right, and now we're gonna ride the manta ray.
I've been trying.
We're just gonna fly through these rings. I'm gonna try to grab some gems on the way. I'm gonna grab these two. That's why I broke the bases earlier and didn't grab the gems, and I just grabbed them here anyway. I also saw a vase I didn't break, so I need to grab that later. But one of the interesting things I found is that
Well done.
so normally if you're in the water and you just have regular flame, when you flame, you just spit out some bubbles.
Now that the
But because we have the super flame, the permanent super flame, you saw that he actually shoots something and it destroys things. But on the manta ray, he goes back to just blowing bubbles if you try to flame. Grab some of these gems. Alright.
So this is something that I've been curious about as I've been watching. You know, I know you're going through, kind of drawing paths through levels in a very particular way, but how precise is your movement through, like, different areas to make sure that, like, how exactly, how wide is Spark's pickup range? And how much does that mean your movement has to be, you know, really on point?
Spark's pickup range is actually very, very lenient in this game because of the extended range after beating Ripto. So I am allowed to, you know, cut corners a little bit more than you would normally think. But you do have to pay attention. I use a lot of like visual and audio to make sure that Sparks does pick up a gem, or if a gem hits the ground, like if I try to flame charge a basket, and I hear a gem hit the ground, then I know, like, hey, I didn't get that gem, I need to go back. So it's a lot of just, like, you know, improvising on the fly, but you do have to have, like, a lot of trust in Sparks in order to get, like, better times in the game, because if you constantly, like, double back on yourself, you're just losing time. So yeah, we're done with Summer Forest. That's the last we'll see of Summer Forest. This is the last homeworld we're going to be in, which we got a little glimpse of earlier in the run when I did Gulp Skip. This definitely has one of the most hated mini games in the run. Definitely for me right now, because this mini game that I'm going to be doing here pretty much killed my sub 2 hour run in the game the last time I PB'd, so his name is Bombo. So we're gonna go ahead and start activating him right now. We start the minigame by just talking to him, and he tells you, like, go defeat enemies to activate the super flame, but we're not gonna do that because we have it already. But Bombo is this guy up here. He stole the flags from the kids here, and we need to get them back. And there's 3 rounds of it, and we shoot him down from here, and then we have to chase him, like, through the level pretty much, and he throws bombs at you, and if you get hit by the bomb, you have to restart that section of the challenge.
So,
And it's very annoying. You have to be very reactive, because he'll throw them and they'll bounce all over the place. And he actually, I heard he, like, reads your inputs, so he knows what you're going to do, and he'll definitely lead you. So yeah, that's one. That's a pretty short one. If you get hit there, not a big deal. It's like, 20 seconds maybe.
Yeah, with mini games like that, it's always a matter of trying to figure out, now, did they just have him on a set path, or is he actually waiting for you to, because it can be anything from directly reading your controller inputs to being like, if Spyro is X units away, do this instead.
Yeah.
And then again, sometimes the two are basically indistinguishable. Alrighty, so what's next?
Before we do the second part of the Bombo minigame. We're just gonna come over here to Hunter. And these monkeys, I guess, escaped from the zoo, and we're just helping Hunter collect them again. Pretty, not too bad of a minigame. You just don't want Hunter to get hit. If he gets hit, you fail the minigame, so you just kind of want to distract the monkeys. If you jump in a certain way, you can glitch out the sky. I don't know exactly where you need to jump, but it's just kind of funny. But yeah, pretty straightforward minigame, not too bad. But we're gonna go back to chasing Bombo again.
Now, how fun would you say that was compared to how much fun Hunter was having? Because I need to compare it to, you know, a barrel full of monkeys.
Oh man, I hit him. I hit the camel. Apparently I didn't.
Uh-oh, yeah, I see.
Oh gosh. Yeah, the camera angles limit you a lot. Alright, here it comes. Yeah.
Still after my...
Alright. Here's where I need to be careful because he throws them up here. So I need to go up there to get to this section of the level, because usually to get to the level you need to hit those buttons, and that drops down the bridges. But you just want to avoid, you know, any unnecessary cutscenes, so you just kind of skip over. Not get hit by that. Chase him around. And yeah, so that little jump there, usually you have to chase him all around the this little center platform, which I'll do in the third round because I need to get all the gems that's sitting around there. But I'm gonna try to get in front of Bombo here by going out of bounds a little bit, and just kind of skipping over to this area, or to the last area. You know, before you get hit by the camel. This gem. Alright, I just need to clean up here, make sure I grabbed everything. Alright, I'm gonna try to get out of bounds right here. Have him start moving. Alright, and now I'm in front of him, so he's still chasing me. But I'm gonna try to get all these gems and stuff before he catches up to me. And then get the talisman here, and he'll actually pass me up right here during the talisman animation. Yeah, push me a little bit. But yeah, my PB run, I got hit by Bombo at the very end right here. So I would have had to go all the way back to the beginning of the level and chase him all around again.
Great job.
So that's a little annoying, but we're done here. Didn't have any problems with Bombo today. Alright, and then the next level we're going to is Breeze Harbor, which has the infamous trolley. So if anybody knows about the trolley, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do the trolley. So the funny thing is that the gears on the trolley minigame, and you may remember the infamous, you know, the trouble with the trolley, line after you fail the trolley. But
that pulled up a very primal memory.
Yeah.
It might have just been that you like delivered the line the way they say it in the game. Yeah. No, despite casually playing it and not having played it in many years, that line is very familiar.
Yeah. But the thing is about the gears, that they're on the track and you can collect them without the trolley. So we're gonna jump up there early and start collecting these gears. I don't know if that was high enough. It's not. There we go. But the thing is about the gears is that game doesn't tell you how many you have, so you have to just be mindful of like the path you're taking and just making sure you collect them all, because if you don't collect them all, then you have to do the trolley, and that is very annoying.
Speaking of not knowing how much we have, I apparently didn't have the live donation track, so I just refreshed the page and I saw that we have a $10 donation from MND Leica, saying, "Such great cause, good luck there." Thank you so much for your $10 donation. It means a lot.
Thank you, Mandy. Mandy's a regular in the chat.
Awesome.
But yeah, these little spiky boys, you usually have to like hit them with the cannon in order to break them, but you can just hit them with the super flame. There we go.
Thanks, Spyro.
And it warps us back to the first half of the level. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of like warping that you do with the orbs and the challenges. And we just try to use that to an advantage with our advantage with the routing. And you may have noticed that I didn't get all the gears the first time. That's because I get launched back here, or I get warped back here, and I go back on the track and I do it the other way. And I just take the other route here. Need to think about my route real quick. And let's do a double check to see if I can gears. Yeah, and then you want to hang left here, because if you get too close to the trolley, it'll just drag you to the trolley, and your counter will actually be at 0 for the
That was great.
for the trolley minigame if you jump on the trolley, even if you've collected some of the gears. So you have to crash, and it'll respawn all of the gears, and you'd have to collect them all again. Alright, and then we're going to jump over to the ship early. Usually you have to flame one of the little bonfires and fling over here on like a little machine. But we're able to just double jump there, and then we're able to double jump up here to avoid hitting the two flames there to raise the ship up. And he still gives the talisman without raising the ship up. And then that is, I'm just going to do a little bit of a gem cleanup here. And we're done with Breeze. Yeah, now we're going on to do Skelos. I don't know actually how to pronounce it. I hear it both ways, but I think this is one of the more famous levels in the game, because I know this was the level that it's like the title screen, like when you before you start the game, it's the level you're in, and in Crash Team Racing? I think it's Crash Team Racing. There is a demo for this game on the disc, and one of the levels that you play is Skelos. So, but I'm gonna go here. We're gonna once again just skip to the end of the level by just jumping up here. Oop, I want to hit that. Yeah, and then you may have seen me like hitting like these little like question mark bases before, and basically the way they work is they have gems in them, but they're usually located at the end of the level, and you flame them and they transport to a different part of the level, usually backwards in the level. So So very efficient to be able to hit them early and just work your way back through the level backwards and get it on the way. But yeah, this is the also the other thing I'm collecting here is bones. This is for the bone dance minigame, and it's kind of a meme in the Spyro community for bone dance. It's actually a meme category that we have is to do this challenge as quickly as possible. And in OG, it's OG Spyro is pretty much skip, crush, go to the level, get all the bones, and it's a really short category. But once you collect all the bones, it'll trigger a cutscene where the skeleton guy does a little dance. So I only have why don't I have green sparks? I may have not gotten one of the fodder that I needed. Also, yeah, avoid that guy because the head explodes after.
We've got folks with their hog bones out in chat in anticipation of the bone dance.
Bone? Oh, I didn't hit him. Yeah. Yeah, so you normally just hit the lizard from underneath and the explosion goes and kills him, but apparently I didn't get him first try, so. Alright. Last bone in here. Oh! Alright, that was my fault. I'm just gonna do this. Alright.
Thank you.
Yeah, the annoying thing about the mystery bases is that if you die in the level, they reset. So you have to kind of go back to the end of the level and redo it all again. Also, there's a skeleton guy doing a little dance. There's a song that plays, but unfortunately we skip it. I probably could have let it play. I'm still like ahead of estimate right now, but yeah, there's a little funny, you know, song and dance that he does. Alright, and then we're gonna, hopefully, this will be all of the gems here. 400, there we go. And then
Spyro.
This challenge here, very hard casually playing. Basically these little dinosaurs spawn out of these eggs and they want to eat the villagers. And if you don't know the order, then you just have to rely on like listening for them and
Well done,
trying to figure it out. But if you know the pattern, it's not too bad. But yeah, it caused me a lot of grief as a kid trying to do this. I don't think I ever did the second one as a kid. This second orb. It's just another one, a little bit harder in a different order. Here.
Thank you for helping.
And we are done with Skelos. Alright. Alright, I see Clock and Exy in the chat. Hi guys. Clock, you were just in time, because this is a fan favorite level, because of a fan favorite little animal that we'll see at the end of it. And his name is George. So, oh, I didn't get that red gem. I need to make sure I get that at the end. But yeah, this is Crystal Glacier. For an ice theme level, where there's these little what are they called? Little guys that you need to free out of the ice usually. To get to different parts of the level, but we're gonna skip that by jumping over that. There's a little chasm there. I'm gonna free these ones because doing the jump to get onto the little the platform up there is a lot more difficult, and could take me a little while. Oops. I went to skip the dialogue. So I usually just play it safe and get free the guys, and they just allow me to jump up here. Because that's a pretty difficult jump to get up there. I do need to make sure I defeat 15 enemies. Because there is a super fly power-up that I need to activate to do one of the mini games here. I think I only missed one, so I should be good. I'm at 10 right now. All right. Yeah, and then this is like the end of the level area. I got him. Okay. Usually you free these guys from the ice. They roll that boulder or that snowball down, and it breaks the center area to get inside, and that's where the talisman is. But we're gonna get up here on the scenery up here, and this part up here isn't solid, so we're just gonna fall right through.
Ow.
Get the talisman there, get these gems. Alright, and then I had 15 enemies, so I'm chilling. And this is the Dracula minigame. There's how many? I forgot how many there are of these guys. But there's a bunch of them, and if you don't kill them fast enough, they start respawning. Or they start just like duplicating. So you need to get them all in like a certain amount of time. There's like 16 or something, I think. And then just trying to grab gems and stuff on the way. Luckily, you know, with Fireball, it makes this minigame a lot easier. Rather than having to get up close and flame them. Although sometimes you miss and you have to get up close anyway. Alright.
You have saved.
Yeah, so now with the super fly, I'm gonna do like this little like double jump in the air to get, because there is a height cap here that doesn't allow me to fly up. But if I double jump while in that super fly, I'll get like extra height. Now it's everyone's favorite part. We're gonna see the boy. Yeah, let me just grab these gems real quick and then we'll see him. It's George! Everyone, say hi to George. Say hi, or
Hi, George.
Say hi, or I will tell Crazy to ban you.
All right,
How
we've
cute
got
he is.
297 viewers, so I'm expecting Hi George at least 290 times.
All right, there's one. There's one. All right, but we're just gonna feed him a little bit of fish.
Tell you what, you don't have to say hi, George. If you donate, then we also won't ban you. That's the other way.
All right, so now he's all fed, and we just gotta take him back to his owner. I just need to make sure I have walked off the edge before, so if you go too far ahead of George, he'll just stop walking. Also, I missed a gem
You
somewhere.
found-
Sparks is pointing somewhere. It's probably in the Dracula area. Yeah, so this is one of the... Oh, I missed these. One of the annoying things about like the Spyro games is if you miss a gem, especially running like the completion categories, missing gems is very not fun because you have to go and find them throughout the level. It's a little more, it's annoying in 1 because you don't have sparks pointing where the gems are, and in 3 because you don't get that ability until like halfway through the game. But in 2 you have it the entire time, which is really nice. But yeah, going through like Spyro 1, missing a gem is the worst because you have to just blindly go through the level trying to find the gem. I'm gonna try to double jump here, get on the scenery here. I'm very bad at this jump. There we go. And just kind of skip over some of the area. We're gonna be coming back to this area anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Alright, get the fodder there. Oh yeah, this is Zephyr. This is definitely another infamous level because of the Cowlick minigame. The Cowlick minigame is have to round up these little creatures called Cowlicks, and they don't always listen. And they start going the wrong way. Yeah, it's really annoying. This is the longest level in the game, so. Yeah. Also, you're supposed to shoot that door with a cannon, but you could just flame it. And the funny thing is, I don't know if they like thought about it or if it's just like a coincidence. But if you're in there, when those TNT go off, you will take damage. So that's why I'm at green sparks right now. Get the fodder real quick. I missed that one jump, but there is a backup that I'm going to do right here. It's just a little out of bounds jump. Have to get to this area, get up here. We're going to skip over the professor's minigame here. Because this is usually like a puzzle minigame to where you need to get these seeds and they spawn these platforms and you need to go through like the entire area and go back and forth for some seeds. But because we just go out of bounds there, and double jump here, we're able to just pretty much skip the entire minigame. Because the game doesn't check for that you actually like did like the seeds and everything. As long as you get to the end, that's all the game cares about. But yeah, these are the Cowlicks. You can either flame them or charge them. If you charge them, they go a little bit more. They stay closer to the ground. And if you flame them, they go a little bit higher. So I'm going to knock him across that chasm and knock him farther back so he doesn't block the other Cowlick that I'm going to be knocking across there. But yeah, single Cowlicks aren't that bad to handle, but at the end I'll be like handling like 4 different ones at once. And just a pain to manage. Knock him up here, and if you accidentally like knock him back down the little canyon right there, you will have to like take him all the way around. You do need to be careful with the flame, because if you like miss and like hit the wall behind them, the explosion sends them like back at you. So you do need to be like accurate and everything with your flames. It is safer to charge, but you do have to be like right on them. And oh yeah, see, like the flame, I hit one of them, but the explosion caused the other Cowlick to start coming back. Also, I am missing the Cowlick, so I need to go grab that real quick. Alright. Yeah, he was way over here in the corner. But yeah, if there are any more like donations or anything, this would be a good time.
Sure. Like, if you've ever thought about herding cattle, this is why that's usually left to professionals.
Thanks, Spyro.
But yeah, no, I would love to let people know that For the Love of Gaming's online extravaganza number 3 is raising money for the wonderful nonprofit To Write Love on Her Arms, which is a movement dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for individuals struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, suicide, and other often difficult or taboo subjects. The organization exists to encourage, inform, inspire, and invest directly into treatment and recovery, reminding you that you were created to love and be loved. Your story is important. Better days are ahead, and particularly on a day like today, which is National Suicide Awareness Day, they want to remind you that having these discussions, reaching out to other people, telling them about what you're going through does not make you a burden. If you'd like to see more about that campaign and things like how you can get involved or how you can find help if that's something that you need, you can go to their website at twloha.com. So, we would they do work not only as an individual organization helping people find, reduce cost, mental health resources in their area, but they also work with groups like crisis phone and text lines, and everywhere from, like, they started in Florida where I'm based, and they now work with groups in Australia where a lot of our marathon organizers and staff are based. So it's really heartening to see their reach getting so wide between them and the groups that they are co-supporting, and we are happy to be able to put this event on in support of their work as well.
Thank you. Yeah, very important cause. Mental health is something that a lot of people struggle with, and definitely reducing the stigma on it is very important. I know it's something near and dear to me because I have a lot of friends, and even myself have gone through sometimes, but definitely creating the ability for people to have resources and be able to get the care that they need is very, very important.
Well done.
All right, so we're going into the third speedway of the game, which is Metro Speedway. It's pretty straightforward one. It's not too bad. I think it might be actually like one of the quickest ones because it's gonna fling these pigeons here. Take out these construction workers. I don't know why. But yeah, this is a. Oh, please. Yeah, definitely don't want to fall into the water. Falling into the water fails the speedway, and you have to start all over again, which I almost accidentally did. Pigeons. There we go. But yeah, the time on this one is like actually very, very lenient. Like even like with those mistakes, I still got like the skill point. But the extra challenge of this game, we go to the mayor here, and apparently some thieves are stealing the gems, so we need to. Hunter's gonna shoot the thieves, and we're just gonna collect the gems that drop. Even though we've been taking a lot of gems, so they don't suspect us at all.
No, they were given to us.
Alright. But something interesting that's going to happen when I come out of the speedway is that, as you saw, we talked to Alora, and she activated the whirlwind that allowed us to get up here. But something else about Alora is that if we don't have all the talismans and we talk to her, she'll take us to a level that we don't have a talisman in. So we're gonna use that, and it's a consistent thing to where she'll always take us to Fracture Hills. Usually, like, it's something that you do at like the boss door. Because you'll get to the boss door and she'll be like, oh, you don't have all the talismans, you have to go back to this level and do it. And you're like, oh, let me go back to this level. But we're going to use that to our advantage now. to avoid doing like a whole bunch of homeworld movement, having to climb the ladder and everything to go back up.
Would you like
We're
me?
just gonna talk to her, and she's gonna take us right here to Fracture Hill, inside the tower. Yeah, and then Fracture Hills, to get the talisman, these satyr guys, they're frozen in stone from the stone cutters, and we need to release all 6 of them in order to get the talisman. It'll open up the center area. I'm gonna try to get 2 of them here at once, and that skips a dialogue box and having to watch that cutscene. So for most of them, I'll just be getting one at a time because let's not get eaten by those. Because it's not really like any too close that are until the very end, and it'll be for the same thing to skip a dialogue box and one of the cutscenes. So I was gonna avoid this area, and if anyone's played this game before, you might remember the Alchemist minigame, which is this little escort mission. That you have to, he runs through this area with all these stone cutters, and usually you can't destroy these stone cutters. You just kind of knock them with your charge, and flaming doesn't help them, or it doesn't defeat them. So you have to, as like the alchemist gets close, you have to knock them back so they don't swing. But we're just gonna destroy all of them with the super flame.
Yeah.
And then while he's just walking through the area with no danger anymore, we're just gonna go and collect some gems and get another orb. Unfortunately, it like messes with the camera a little bit because the camera is like for the minigame. To be able to see a little bit more. So we're just going to do all this while he's walking around. The actual minigame is very, very annoying to do, and most people don't like it. So definitely a very welcome skip in the game. But we're going to come up here. And we're going to collect this orb at the same time that he frees Hunter. Alright. If I was a little bit quicker, I would have gotten warped over here, but...
Man!
But unfortunately, I took a couple of hits and bumped a couple times, so... We're fine. And now, this part of the minigame, you're supposed to like go around, and Hunter's gonna shoot the stone cutters, and you're supposed to go and head bash them. But because we already defeated them all, we just beat the challenge instantly. Alright, and then this last satyr here, we're gonna ignore him for now because we're gonna try to get 2 at once here. Here, and hit this guy, and there we go. So yeah, usually there's a dialogue for like the 5th satyr to be freed and the 6th, but we only get the one for the 6th, and then we get them. Coming here, we have all the gems, and we're just gonna get the talisman here. And we're done here. We actually only have 3 more levels left.
We've got a comment in chat about a runner with threatening splits. Do you happen to know anything about that?
Yes, that is me. On my PlayStation speedrun layout, I have it so my splits are transparent, and they go over my webcam. So, like, I am the background of my own splits. So, and I got featured on a on this Twitter page called Live Splits with Threatening Auras.
Of course,
And, yeah.
naturally.
And
Very good.
it happened to be my so I do this run called the Sprash Vector. It's an event. It's kind of like the Mario 602, but it's a Sprash Vector, and it's the first 3 Spyro games
Spyro and Crash.
and the first 3 Crash games, all played to full
Nice.
completion. And my splits for that are like I put underneath like my regular splits, I put like an extra set for like the individual games. So they were like these super long splits that like take up most of the screen, and it just looks
Of
kind of
course.
cursed.
Right. You're just hidden behind a wall of text.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Now we're on to Popcorn, which is your challenging hunter in 2 different challenges. Well, it's the same thing. First one, he races you to 10. Second one, he races you to 15. And it's a little RNG based on where the popcorn spawns. But Hunter can be real annoying in this one, especially in the second one, because he starts catching them super, super quickly.
I'll give you a.
Hopefully I don't have too many issues here. But there's a lot of using, sound cues to determine where the popcorn's gonna come out. And the ideal way, if you don't want to lose, is you just kind of want to follow Hunter to steal like whichever one he's going for. But and I'll usually do that if I like start falling behind, because he's very quick in this one. But it looks like we're not having too many problems here.
You're
Actually,
really.
stole that one from him right at the end. I'm surprised I got that one because I bonked on him. But yeah, this level does have a super fly power up that I need to activate, but luckily, it only takes 2 souls to activate. Which, if you're playing casually, you'll get 2. Like, you have to get at least 2 to get through the level. But because I skip, a lot of level, but I usually get a couple. I just have to think about it just in case I like go past one. So like I'm at 2 right now, but I usually get both those big guys, and those count for the 2. But yeah, it's kind of funny how like in a couple of the levels, like the requirement is so low that like most people don't even know there is a requirement. Like in Metropolis, the requirement to activate the Superfly at the end is 1 enemy. And by the time you get through the level, because there's like those pigs with rockets on the back, they die once they get activated pretty much. So it's pretty much impossible to go through that level and not get at least 1 soul. And then this one is this minigame is Party Crashers. They have these guys that stole the guy's party equipment and just need to go and flame them. Usually you have to like pick up like these little rocks that you see just kind of floating right there. But you can get them with the fireball. Just kind of grabbing gems on the way, because I don't plan on coming back down here. There we go. That's all 12, and we're gonna get warped up here.
Thanks, Spyro.
And then to get the talisman, we need to close the volcano, and that's from us just climbing to the top of this ladder here. Close the volcano, and we'll come over here. Sparks will grab those last 2 gems and get the talisman, and we're done here.
Yeah, I don't understand why engineers in real life haven't built lids for more volcanoes. Seems to work just fine.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I'm not a geologist or an engineer.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. High five.
All right, and then my gem count is good. Yeah, usually when I am going towards that area, I have like a few areas where I have like certain numbers memorized to make sure I have the right amount of gems. And going through there, having the 9155 is like perfect. So I have all the gems coming up to this area. So yeah, this is Shady Oasis. This is a little bit. This is an escort mission, pretty much. You have to escort Shorty here through the level, and you have to feed her these little berries that makes her grow, and she breaks these fences and allows you to go through the level. And you need Shorty to get to the end to get the talisman, so can't really skip this, unfortunately. But I do need to make sure I get 18 enemies in this area, because the power up here is a shield power up, which allows me to walk on the goop, and that's needed to do the last mini game in this area. Oh, I didn't hit that. Firework space. Alright, and there's like 5 or something in this room. Yeah, I mean, plenty. But yeah, the two mini games here are, one, these thieves stole like the magic lamps, so we need to go grab those. And there's 3 of them, and like the little cutscenes there kind of tell you where they
Thanks
are.
for helping me.
And then the other one is to save the hippos that are trapped in rock. Which usually, if you're playing through this game casually, you can't do that yet because you need the head bash. And when you're at this point in the game, you don't have that ability yet. So normally you would have to backtrack to do it. But because we went to the end of the game super early and beat Ripto, we don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to wait here for a second and then head bash instead of flaming because it makes the rest of them come out a lot quicker.
I have a...
Alright. And then I'm going to grab some gems over here. And we're going to get the rest of the thieves and the, managing the mystery base again. There we go. If there's any donations before the end of the run, or any last word, because this is the second to last level, now would be a good time.
Sure, yeah, I'll take the opportunity to remind people that they can donate at the link that was just dropped into chat using !donate. And to know more about the charity, there's some information for you there. And that the right level, which is a charity about mental health awareness and providing resources for people struggling with things like suicide, depression, and needing someone to talk to at moments when it seems like too much. Not only are they the reason we're doing this event, but they are also so kind as to provide rewards that people giving pledges and donations at certain amounts can opt into during the donation process. So at a $50 donation, which helps pay for somebody to sit down with a counselor for the first time, they're offering a free sun catcher to those who put in donations. And then things at $100 and $200, which do things like helping for 300 people to find access to free and reduced cost mental health services, and also to sponsor a group therapy session for people who need it. So, we think it's a very worthy cause. You can say, especially at a time like now, mental health resources are important, but they always have been. And I think we're really only just appreciating that now in 2022 after how the last couple of years have been. So I think that makes their mission more important than ever. And I'm happy and proud to be part of an event that's raising money for them.
So we're in the last level now. Unfortunately, it is a speedway. We do end on a speedway, so a little anticlimactic. But I just want to thank everyone. Thank FTLG for having me. Thank you, T3, for hosting both of my runs.
Thank you. My pleasure. And thank you in advance, chat, for clipping whatever just happened there. I think I might be dropping packets, or maybe Discord was doing something funny, because it sounds like I sounded stranger than usual. So I look forward to seeing that later.
Good job.
Alright, but yeah, this is the last mini game. Timing is gonna end when the orb disappears and the 64 out of 64 comes up at the bottom, right after this mini game. But yeah, if anyone is like interested in like running these games, the Spyro community is like super cool. There's a Discord for Spyro, so if you're interested in Reignited, any of the original games, maybe enter the Dragonfly for some reason. But but it's all in one Discord, and everyone is super nice, super helpful. I've gotten really close with a lot of them. So, but yeah, we're just coming up on the end here. Looks like we're going to be getting a 2:05. All right, and then timing is in 3, 2, 1, and time.
Yes, indeed. 2:05:53.
Nice. Okay, I finished a little bit under
GG's.
estimate. And then I'm just gonna verify. Oops. I'm gonna go to the guidebook to verify that we have 100% everywhere, and we do. So yeah, that's Spyro 2, everyone. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. But yeah, that's the last run I'm doing here today. But, if you want to catch me around, I stream a lot of the Spyro and Crash games over at my Twitch channel, HammerHeadLabs, so yeah, so thank you.
Thank you again, HammerHeadLabs. It's been a very fun time. Get some classic PlayStation 1 action with both of your runs. We are expecting this next setup break to take maybe just a little bit longer than usual, because we're going to be coming back to you with something real special, I think, and very unusual. It's going to be some Team Fortress 2 speedruns with Dr. Pope NZ and a whole crew of folks. So we're going to get them all on the line, make sure everything is working out, and we will be back with you just as soon as we can. Stay tuned.
Bye.
This is the hour, the darkest place. Dante's Inferno, the devil's maze. It's a good world, good world going bad. A sad state of affairs. Half the people die.
I'm living for a new tomorrow.
I'm living for the grace that carries us through our hardest days.
All that was created for me to enjoy.
I'm living for hope.
Christina Perri concerts, plot twists, wedding bells, travel, sweet surprises.
I am living for the day when I finally see that it really does get better.
I live for going on walks with my friends and family and laughing really hard at silly things.
I hope that whatever I do can encourage you that you're worth living for.
I am living for the possibilities. Yes, pain, but also joy and beauty and connection and redemption.
I am living for all of the memories that I have yet to create with the people that I love and all of the people that I have yet to show love to.
I'm living for the future of music.
मैं जी रही हूँ एक नए दिन के लिए.
I am living for the end of generational curses.
Estoy viviendo para ver el amanecer desde la colina, bailar mi canción favorita.
For memories still being made.
I am living for the Olympics because hope has not been cancelled.
Dwi'n byw ar gyfer fy nheulu, fy ffrindiau, am anturiaethau ar sêr. Dwi'n byw am y pocedi bach o golau yn yr eiliadau mwyaf tywyll.
Because our happiness is worth living for.
It's worth seeing whether I can create a better tomorrow for others.
I am worth living for. That my wife and my son are worth living for.
We can all make a difference in this world, and that difference is worth living for.
We can choose to care.
We can keep showing up.
We can keep remembering and reminding each other that it's possible to change.
We've got to keep trying.
You won't have to go alone.
There are people that want to help.
There are people who know how to help.
It is all worth living for.
Your life matters.
I'm living for all those friends who couldn't keep going. And I've actually found that I'm worth living for.
Vale a pena viver por.
Think about me one more time before you go. Someday you'll know. Someday you'll know. Already know what I'm going to say. I've been feeling this way for far too long.